So I'd just like to make a quick comment on what everybody's saying about the Surface Book, with it being a dual core, with the MacBooks being more powerful, with this being overpriced. Look, let me put this to bed once and for all. And I'm going to do so by basically doing this demonstration inside of a Lamborghini. And no, this is not a set, this is not fake. This is indeed... This is indeed a real Lamborghini. Now that we have gotten that straight, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to log in to my Surface Book. Oh wow, look at that. That was so much faster. I mean, you couldn't even... Let me see Apple do that first off. So that alone is added into the cost of the Surface Book. The research and development to make an IR blaster that in a dark environment like this car, it can log me in that fast and that efficiently. And it never misses. It's swear to God, once it recognizes you, and you do the improved recognition, you turn your head side to side, let it get a good profile of you, it never misses. So one of the things I'm going to show you right now is a problem that you see basically every laptop, including basically all of Apple's products, well, they more or less have. Now, people could argue the iPad Pro, but I have to laugh because you don't get any ports, usable, useful things. For instance, like if I'm a photographer and I want to use Lightroom, I can't just take an SD card and doink, that's it. So imagine if this was a Mac. This is a problem I'd be having right now. I'd have to ram myself in between the computer and a tight area in front of me, whether it be my car wheel, whether it be me walking around. I would have to walk around and hold it like this and use it like this, and that's just retarded. There's no point to using, it's just not natural. So the reason this is the ultimate computer is because I can actually just go ahead and do this, flip it around, dock it back, and you've got a full clipboard. And the beautiful thing is the fulcrum hinge that Microsoft designed means that you get an actual nice grip where you have texture along where your palm rests, places for your hand to grab and grip and hold, and really make sure that you don't drop this thing. And it's really not that heavy. That's one thing that people do not consider. Sure, it may not have a quad core, but to get a quad core in here, you double the amount of heat that you'd have to be able to give off at full throttle, which means, first off, this would have to be bulkened up. You'd have to put in a ton of cooling, which already it has. So imagine, this thing already has active cooling, it has tons of battery life, yet it's already basically on that edge of where you see it can cross over to being where it's now like, a little too heavy. To add a quad core would have just been overkill. We would have had something that probably would have ended up almost twice as thick, simply because you would also need a lot more battery just to be able to keep the thing running for as long as this can run. But that's not to say that having a dual core is a bad thing. Just because quad cores exist doesn't mean that dual core is suddenly obsolete and like non-functional anymore. I just loaded Lightroom with over like 250 presets. And anybody who uses Lightroom knowing that statement, they would know it's a lot of presets to load. Lightroom takes forever to load presets in the beginning. And then once it's loaded and I can do all my edits, you're good to go. And when I'm ready, let's see, choose a preset, export, and then using the traditional behind the curve Apple-esque login method of your thumb, I can just go right over to OneDrive, and if I'm not mistaken, the photo should be here waiting for me. That's not it. That's not it. That is. Come on. Do I have rotation lock on? Yes, I do. There we go. That's it. Microsoft really did a stellar job with this. I can use this anywhere. I can walk around the dealership and pen notes in. It's amazing. I love this little thing. It's just a quick video. I wanted to show you that even in something as cramped as a Lamborghini, you can actually do a full amount of work on this. Like, anything that you can do with a computer, you can do on this. And it'll do it reasonably fast. I really think it's worth every single cent that Microsoft charged. Yeah, that's it.